Hello guys, welcome back. Ugh, I've been so sick the last couple of days, it hasn't been funny. I've been not quite as sick as the time I started hallucinating during the Doctor Who marathon, but pretty sick. And I've noticed I always get sick like this in the same exact symptoms every time I start manifesting, which is another reason I knock the manifesting off. I get about a month in for that, and I start to get like this cold. Like, it feels like I've got croupy stuff in my chest, and I already took medicine and everything. I lay down. All day yesterday, I was just laying in my chair listening to all these animal totem videos. I figured out something horrible about it, and I was like, no. And they gave me a 24-hour grace period, Lokean Odin, because they were like, you're sick enough as it is. We don't need to be telling you the facts of life right now. And this morning I was like, no, because this woman that did all these things, I noticed she got a couple of the animals really wrong. And I hadn't ever heard these ones before, that's why I didn't know about this. And I was so sick, I had nothing to do but sit there and listen to entertainment. And then she mentioned someone. And this person is well-known charlatan in pagan circles. They're one of those people that we've discussed on the channel before. They will take your very last life savings, don't care. Because if you attend this seminar, they'll teach you how to manifest everything. Only they do channeling woo. You know who I'm talking about? Okay. And I'm like, I can't believe I invested the time and study and effort into the same woo in a different package. And I felt awfully dumb because the gods have been going along with it. Or at least I thought they were. And Odin and Loki had just grabbed the most convenient tool possible to get me to do a lot of shadow work. I've been doing a ton of shadow work, and they knew I'd find out the truth. They knew I would find out the truth. And I said, well, what has all this manifestation been? I've been getting a ton of signs and everything. They said, we're answering you. We're gods. You pray to us, we answer. You're just tuned in because you're training yourself to be tuned in, which is a good thing. And after I'd quit the channel, all these gods came flooding back, and now I could hear everything, and everything's calmed down. But I had to do a ton of shadow work, and they were right. They were like, you're not aggressive enough with people. You have to be more aggressive because you let people come on the channel, and you know that they're trying to pick at you. You get those people. If you run a YouTube channel, you get the people who like to pick at you. The people that are like, you're always wrong. Loki waifu. Loki best god. No, Loki can be a son of a bitch. I love him, but he can be a son of a bitch. And to demonstrate that, as soon as I realized that I bought the same woo in a different package, he was on the ground laughing hysterically, begging me to manifest something through the tears in his eyes, choking because he was laughing so much. He thought it was hysterical. And Odin was laughing too. And then, as I'm getting better and I'm getting stronger, I mean, I'm really sick now, but as my mind's clearing up, I went into the temples. I'm like, what did I do to these temples? Why? I went into Odin's healing temple, and the first thing I did was put my hand on my stomach. I'm like, oh, it's so cute and sweet. He goes, I don't know, dear. You were saying something about manifesting the me that only you could see, and you were just so sick at the time. I went along with it. It's so goddamn cute. It's worse than a Disney film. It's too damn cute. And I'm like, why did I do this? He's like, I have no idea. He said, you were so sick at the time. I didn't have the heart to tell you. So I went through and I changed the temples just enough that they look like Odin actually dwells there. And he was like, it's okay, baby. You were sick. You started telling me all these nice things about how nice and gentle I was. And Odin had just been looking at me really puzzled, like, okay. And he's like, it's okay, I'm still the Lord of the Dead, I'm the God of the Gallows, I'm, still glad of war, you didn't ruin me and make a new age pet out of me. So he was very merciful. He actually said it was kind of endearing. He said, you were really sick, you thought I was the gentlest and kindest of gods, and you were giving me flowers and treating me really nice. He's, this is the old father at a war, and he'd be looking at this stuff. Lucky was like, it was so cute. You should have seen the actual expression on his face. He'd be looking at the flowers like, what am I going to do with this? But he'd be like, oh, thank you, dear, because he is very kind and gentle with you. And if he loves you and you're really sick and you're hallucinating and you think he's the nicest, gentlest God ever, he'll be like, oh, that's so sweet. And he won't do anything to you. It wasn't his time to growl and bark and poke me with a spear. And I laid down today. I was doing healing with him, work with him, and the Lord of the Dead showed up. So he's back to normal, and he's like, I felt so bad for you. I didn't have the heart to tell you anything. And Loki looked at me too, because Loki got his dose of cute. They all did. All the temples look, oh, cutesy bootsy, oochie bootsy. And they're all like, we don't know what happened. It was like all your hormones went off at once. There's tons of wolf puppies everywhere. There's tons of flowers and cute poppy art everywhere. They were like, we just thought your little human brain melted down. We didn't know what was going wrong with you, but this was something you had to go through the deep healing. And I think that's what it is. When I do really deep healing, I start to surround myself with really overly cute, nauseating cute stuff. It's just a natural reaction because I'm doing all this terrible work, so I surround myself with all this. I've got this nauseatingly cute wallpaper I'm looking at now. It's this fox cub with all these pansies around it. God damn, it's cute. It's like overly cute. You know that stuff that you look at and you hold your tummy and you're like, oh God, I'm sick. It's that kind of cute. And I had been really sick yesterday, and I was kind of sick today, but I was like, you know what I want to do? Since I don't see Christ in the same way Christians do, I was like, I've always had the strongest urge to do the celebration on Friday. So we made a pork. We just made canned pork instead of a ham, because I was like, I do not feel like cooking a Lokean ham. And I had already boiled off the Easter eggs, and we did that. And I just had a bowl of it like an hour ago or so. And I'm just fighting this cold or whatever this is that I get every time I start to manifest. And Odin's like, how many times do I have to tell you, put it in my hands? You may not be getting the good of bill of goods she was trying to sell you, but you will get something. I may not give you every little thing your little tiny human heart desires. This is Odin I'm dealing with, not Jehovah. But I heard back, or the universe, ha! But yeah, and Loki noted I was working with Odin exclusively because I did not trust Loki to do anything but laugh hysterically and gasp and hold his sides. But everything I would mention to Odin, Odin would be like, yeah, that sounds great, yep, you just lay back and relax, sweetheart, because I'm gonna take care of all that. I was like, I'm so stupid. And he wasn't lying to me. Gods will take care of us. It's just, it's kind of a bill. You might as well have a positive mindset. And you might as well do the shadow work and get rid of anything that will block your beliefs and block your belief that you can have something and that you deserve it. Not in a negative sense, but you deserve it as much as anyone else, and that it can be possible for your God to give it to you. It doesn't mean it's going to come. That doesn't mean, like, if I decide it's really possible for a Porsche to come in my life, there will be a Porsche in the driveway tomorrow. Wouldn't do me any good anyways. I can't see to drive. So it's just, it's one of those things that the gods already know everything that's going on and going wrong in our life, though they seem to like to be told. And they know what we want. And as I said, sometimes it can take like a decade for stuff to show up. And you will be telling the gods, no, this is really serious. Like, this is happening and that is happening. And I really need a fix now. But somehow it stays in that miserable state. And it's just fine for like 6 or 10 years, right? And the whole time you're like, but I need a fix now. I need a fix now. I need a fix now. It lasted 6 or 10 years. So it's just, it's one of those things. And I talked to my other friend yesterday. I think it was yesterday, yeah. And I said, you know, I kind of resent how the other friend, the Christian friend, waits until the very last minute to invite me to something. I said, she always waits until a day or so before, and I've had kind discussions with her repeatedly. where I said, with the not being able to just go out whenever I want, I have to plan ahead and get all my celebration foods like a week or even a month or so ahead, depending on like the weather and that. Like I would not order Easter candy now because we've had weather in the 80s already. So it was kind of like a subtle hint that I guess it was too subtle, that don't wait until the last minute to invite me. Well, I was already tried to walk yesterday and I got this severe leg cramp and came home and I was dying to go to the park, but I was too sick, so I spent the whole day sick in the chair. And I spent most of today sick, and she calls up and she says, well, I would like to invite you to Easter. I'm thinking, you're telling me now it's Good Friday. And I called her back and I told her what my symptoms were and I said, I'm just not going to come. She goes, well, you could be better tomorrow. I'm like, she really overly believes in her God at this point. I'm like, I know me. I'm going to be sick for at least a week. And I know I got this last year too, right around Easter too, even though it was a different month and everything. I think I'm allergic to Easter. And I said, I need to keep drinking liquids. So I'm drinking a ton of liquids and I'm eating off the pork and I'm eating, the egg. And I put nutmeg and cloves in the pork so that I'm getting like some herbs and that in me. And there's vitamin C in that and the orange drink I made. So I'm trying to take care of myself, but I'm like, there's no way I'll be good enough for Sunday. And I'd already told Udin I really didn't feel like going up on Sunday because I said she's either going to have her son there or his son there or their friend there that doesn't really like me. And I said, I really am not hungry enough or want to see them bad enough that I want to have these other people around because I can tell I chafe at the nerves, and I'm like, I'd rather not go. I honestly would rather not go. And I even did the pendulum work with Loki, which Loki knows I do with him, and so far he's been pretty good about being honest. When he answers me with the pendulum, when it's something really important, I get the pendulum out, and I said, should I go Sunday? And he told me no, and I was like, okay, that's good enough for me. I'm not going Sunday. But it was terrible, but it was a good time. It was horrible. I had to work on some dreadful stuff that I never want to see ever again, but I read Women Who Run with Wolves, and I know it comes in a cycle. You think you got all this shit out of your system, and 5-10 years later, you're working on it all over again. Never goes away. Ever. Live in despair. So, I was kind of like really depressed today, because I'm like, if this is all woo, and I knew a lot of her animal readings were really off. Like, if you have gorilla as a totem, you don't have it in you to kill people, okay? I don't know where she got some of this stuff. You're not going to automatically kill people based on your totem. You'd be much safer with a gorilla than, say, a chimpanzee. I could tell you that right now. I think some people start off well, and then they go into the realm of woo. And it seemed like her older videos, she had started off well enough, and then she went into the realm of woo. And she decided that she had this gift. She does or she doesn't. And for this gift, she'll charge you $125. I see study animals you really like and see what you think you can learn from them. Take out lesson. Your interpretation is just as valid as anyone else's. It's like when you get your tarot cards read, should actually be you doing it for one thing. And it should be your interpretation, not someone else's. It matters more what the cards mean to you, because they're just playing cards from centuries ago. That's what they are. They're pretty little playing cards for the elite. They're not mystical woo. So, went through all that, but Odin's really happy. He's like, sometimes you have to be mean. He says, you are way too nice. He says, you let people talk to you, and you were letting the pressure of YouTube let more aggressive people come on to the channel and try to take over. And there are certain things you guys know that make me angry. Don't name drop on me. Don't keep telling me what the top YouTubers are doing. If I cared, I would be watching them. I don't care because that's directly my competition. You might not want to hear it, but that's my competition. And I really don't want to hear about what this person that you're fanatically in love with is doing on YouTube. Don't want to hear it. I just don't. That's my competition. I'm like, do you talk about me to other people? Probably not. I don't need you plugging other YouTubers on my channel. Thankfully sub for sub hasn't shown up here. I don't need that either. And it's just, he's like, you have to start weeding these people out. You let them come in. And so what I've started doing is doing a lot of preemptive strikes on people. When people sign up for your channel, you can go and check them out. And if you think they're going to be trouble, you can just say, yeah, I don't want this person commenting on my channel. They can still view your channel, and they can do all the nasty little stuff they want around your channel, but they can't comment to you. And any other thing that's within their power, they're adding to the overall value of your channel, but you don't have to put up with them. And every time I see a downvote, I actually smile, because Winston Churchill said that roughly said that if you didn't have enemies, you weren't trying enough. And that, if you do have enemies, that's a good sign that you're doing something that's worthwhile people getting that mad at you for. So, I don't think he was an actual druid. Loki's back here helping. So I'm still really tired, guys. I'm run down. I'm going to be run down through at least Easter. But I was like, I would rather make the food today and just pick at it. And then Easter, we could have toast for all I care. My health just goes like this sometimes. And Odin says, you have to give up the death grip on the manifesting. And when I feel better, I have to get rid of all the cutesy bitsy stuff in all the temples. I mean, that's not my decorating style. I do have some cute plushies and stuff, but it's in a vast majority normal kind of drab looking house. It's not, it's just, there's rainbows of colors in Odin's healing temple. And he'd felt far too much compassion for me. He was like, I can't actually yell at her right now. Look at her. She's so sick. And I went back in there and I looked at him like, what is this? And he goes, I don't know. You were telling me you could see the me that only you can see, and that you love me, and the world would understand that I'm peace and healing. He said, I thought you were dying, so I was being extra compassionate. So that's how Odin is. He can be very kind and gentle with you, especially when he knows you're sick, if he loves you. But, I got lucky. Some people might not get as lucky. Some people might get knocked on their butt, because usually he will not put up with rainbow, peace, healing, love, Odin. He usually is not going to put up with that, but he's like, you've been getting sick off and on for a while now, and I've been trying to keep you as well as possible, but you were so sick. I felt so sorry for you. And Loki was like, yeah, we all thought you were going to die. We were planning your funeral. So that's nice to know. My gods believed I was going to die, and they're like, you're alive? And then I have Lord Apollo to deal with, because there's a lot of issues to deal with Lord Apollo, and I'm like, why do you pick when I'm really sick? And he's like, well, you're on your back, you can't move. Great time to talk to you, because I have your full attention. So, I'm doing a lot better. Kind of. I'm still going to be really sick the next couple of days. But it was a lot of deep traumatic stuff from my past that I'm not going to drag up just to get YouTube votes, but it was a lot of deep traumatic stuff that I had to deal with, a lot of horrific stuff that came up, and I'm like, okay, I have to deal with this, because I forgot how shitty my life actually was. I always had a doctor tell me, if you can't remember something, your mind's blocking it out for a good reason. And I was like, oh god, I can't believe I lived through that. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.